I have exited Discovery. I'm a free agent.
What? He was the man behind one of the most famous garages in the world. The star of Fast and Loud, the relentless force behind Gas Monkey Garage, and a figure synonymous with speed, risk, and high-stakes deals. But behind the roaring engines, the gleaming chrome and the camera flashes, Richard Rawlings' life was far more complicated and darker than anyone imagined. At 55, he's finally speaking out, revealing the secrets that explain failed marriages, shocking legal battles, and the reason he sold off his prized car collection. This isn't just a story about cars or fame. It's a story of ambition, betrayal, reinvention, and a drive so relentless, it's almost dangerous. This is the untold story of Richard Rawlings. Richard was born on March 30th, 1969, in a working-class neighborhood in Fort Worth, Texas. From the very beginning, cars weren't just a passion, they were destiny. One of the earliest photographs of him shows a small boy, grinning from ear to ear, behind the wheel of a pedal-powered Volkswagen Beetle. That tiny car wasn't just a toy, it was a glimpse of the man he would become. While other kids spent Saturday mornings watching cartoons, Richard had a different world. At 3 a.m., long before the city stirred, he would rise with his father to deliver newspapers. Bundles tucked under his arm, he rode through darkened streets, tossing papers onto doorsteps. After school, the routine repeated. On weekends, he pedaled house to house, collecting payments from subscribers. But Richard's fascination wasn't the money. It was the cars. Every driveway, every make, every model, every year. He memorized them all. Neighbors would marvel at his knowledge, and Richard would simply shrug. "I pass your house twice a day. How wouldn't I know?" His father, juggling 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet, ensured Richard had one reward for himself: a car or a motorcycle. That single lesson, if you want something special, you have to earn it, would define him forever. By 14, Richard bought his first car, a 1974 Mercury Comet, paid entirely with his own savings. While most teens were dreaming about turning 16, Richard was already burning rubber in the school parking lot, performing donuts, making his presence known. By senior year, he was on his third car, a 1977 Bandit Trans Am, black as night, straight out of Smokey and the Bandit. He wasn't just driving, he was flipping cars, buying, fixing, and selling them for profit. By graduation, he had flipped over 20 vehicles, earning more than most teens did with part-time jobs. His eye for detail, instinct for potential, and negotiation skills were already legendary. These early lessons would form the foundation of everything that came later. The early 90s would test him like nothing else. At 22, driving a 1965 Ford Mustang 2+2 Fastback, he was ambushed by carjackers. A bullet tore through his shoulder and down his left arm. Many would have walked away from the car world forever. Richard? It only fueled his fire. Between 1988 and 1990, before tattoos, fame, or even a garage, Richard served as a police officer, firefighter, and paramedic, all before turning 21. Facing crises became second nature. The chaos would prepare him for battles far beyond the streets, legal, emotional, and financial. By 25, he needed a fresh start. Selling everything he owned, he bought a Jeep and headed to California, chasing a dream. 6 months later, broke, tattooed, and sleeping on his sister's couch, he returned to Texas. The Jeep was gone, repossessed. But failure sharpened him. He realized he had to build something of his own, something bigger than himself. In 1999, Richard launched Lincoln Press, a printing and advertising company in Dallas. No experience, no mentors, just ambition and grit. With a $100,000 small business loan, he grew the company into a thriving enterprise. By 2004, he pulled off publicity stunts that made headlines, like gifting a Lamborghini Gallardo to his first $1 million client. Lincoln Press flourished, and eventually he sold it, all to fuel his real obsession: cars. In 2002, Richard opened Gas Monkey Garage, small, gritty, and built with the last of his money. It had no air conditioning, no running water, and barely enough tools to function. Every project was a gamble. Mechanics were scarce, parts were harder to find. But Richard had vision, and he would do whatever it took to make it work. In May 2007, he attempted a feat that would cement his name in car culture forever: the Cannonball Run record. Driving a modified Ferrari 550 Maranello with extra fuel tanks, he raced coast to coast from Manhattan to California, covering 2,811 miles in 31 hours and 59 minutes. He shattered a 28-year-old record. Recognition came from none other than Jay Leno, the ultimate authority in car culture. That nod wasn't just respect, it was validation. Years before Fast and Loud, the boy memorizing driveways had become a man acknowledged by the king of cars himself. Then came television. In 2012, Fast and Loud premiered. The premise was simple, irresistible: find forgotten cars, restore them, and flip them for profit. But Richard's vision went further. It was energy, drama, and storytelling for the whole family. It wasn't just a show, it was an experience. The Dallas Garage went global. Over 16 seasons, it aired in 13 languages, transforming Richard from a local car guy into a worldwide celebrity. But fame came with consequences. Behind the cameras, behind the gleaming metal, personal life and business conflicts began to mount. Richard's first marriage, in 1993, ended after a year. His second marriage, to Suzanne Marie Morel in 1999, lasted a decade. They reconciled briefly in 2015, only to separate again in 2019. Ambition and love rarely coexisted smoothly in his world. Meanwhile, lawsuits erupted. Gas Monkey Bar and Grill filed a $6 million defamation suit against Richard in 2018, accusing him of disrupting staff, damaging reputations, and creating a toxic environment. He countersued for copyright infringement, claiming the bar used his Gas Monkey brand without permission, even promoting lewd events. Fans watched as the empire he built teetered on the edge of collapse. Yet, Richard didn't stop. Auctions, podcasts, charity events, and high-profile media ventures allowed him to stay relevant. In September 2023, he auctioned nearly 30 vehicles, including rare classics like a 1962 Chevy Corvette and a 1993 Toyota Supra, raising millions. At the same time, he shifted focus to high-end European cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, even electric conversions. Reinvention became his mantra. His empire extended beyond engines. Restaurants, bars, concert venues, energy drinks, tequila, and merchandise transformed Gas Monkey into a lifestyle brand. Gas Monkey Bar and Grill became a hotspot where automotive culture, music, and nightlife collided. Gas Monkey Live, a 38,000-square-foot venue, drew thousands for concerts and events, bringing together speed, sound, and spectacle. Strategic partnerships amplified his influence. As the national spokesperson for Dodge, Richard seamlessly blended cars, media, and live events, creating experiences like the unforgettable Dodge Rocks Gas Monkey concerts. Meanwhile, energy drinks, tequila, and licensing deals allowed him to maintain control of his brand while expanding into new markets. Through all the chaos, lawsuits, divorces, pandemic closures, Richard Rawlings remained unstoppable. His story is about more than cars. It's about reinvention, resilience, and relentless ambition. From newspaper deliveries in Fort Worth, memorizing cars on driveways, to breaking records, building an empire, and facing public scrutiny. His life has been a roller coaster of triumphs and setbacks. Every car restored, every record broken, Every legal battle fought has shaped the man we see today. He isn't just a TV personality or entrepreneur. He's a symbol of persistence, risk, and the audacity to reinvent oneself when the world expects you to fail. And as he continues to focus on high-end collections, new media projects, and the ongoing evolution of Gas Monkey, one thing is clear: Richard Rawlings knows how to stay in the spotlight, and he's just getting started. From the streets of Fort Worth to the global stage, from shattered marriages to multi-million-dollar auctions, Richard Rawlings' story proves that the fast lane isn't just about speed. It's about survival, ambition, and the courage to keep driving forward, no matter the obstacles, no matter the obstacles, no matter